For those of you who don't know me, I am Crystal Jacques. I lead our enterprise partnerships team here at Experian. And with me, I have Kevin. Kevin, I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Kevin Greenwald. I'm the SVP of Advertising and Audience Products for Audacy.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. So in true Experian fashion, we like to kick things off with an icebreaker before we jump into the actual content. These are typically one-word answers. First one, it's going to be easy to be one word. So quick question for you. So what was your first CD?
I believe it was Billy Joel's Stormfront.
That's incredible. My first CD was Billy Joel's CD too.
Really?
Yeah, Small World. It wasn't Stormfront though. I need to get back to you on what it was. But anyhow, okay, cool. And for those of you who don't know what a CD is, that people can look those up later. Okay, more industry related. So what do you think is a one word, like under the radar buzzword that folks in the audio world maybe don't know today or haven't been hearing today, but by this time next year, they'll be hearing all over the place?
Well, I'm usually not a fan of buzzwords at all. And there's one now that I don't really care for it as a term. But the vodcast, which is like the video form of a podcast is definitely a thing. And I think we're all still kind of figuring out as an industry how much of a thing it's going to be. But yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like it. Thank you. All right, well, let's jump into the content. So we all know audio commands a lot of attention in places that screens just aren't prevalent and available. So I guess from your vantage point at Audacy, how are shifts in daily listening habits turning audio into a must-have for brands? And those that are really seeking like unique engagement, how is that engagement different?
Yeah, so what you're saying is exactly right about audio. That's one of the unique things about it is you can consume audio when you're doing other things. You're not, a lot of times if you're consuming video, you're kind of just stagnant sitting on your couch and you might have a phone in your hand or something like that. But what we see with audio is sort of a companion in a lot of people's daily rituals where they're, a lot of times you're performing a task that's somewhat mindless. Like if I'm being anecdotal and think of my own use of audio, a lot of times it's when I'm doing dishes in the morning, or I'm folding laundry, or I'm out for a run, or I'm grocery shopping. And because you're doing tasks that are sort of routine and don't take a lot of concentration, you have audio going in your ears and you tend to be really engaged with it and really focused on it. And from an advertising perspective, that's always really powerful because you're paying a lot of attention to the content.
Totally.
So from a brand perspective, our one of the things we find is that our ability to kind of put together creative plans for brands to take advantage of those moments where you can form a really powerful connection with the audience and the listener, that works really well.
That's great. So like with listeners hopping between things like live radio, streaming, podcasts, what best practices help marketers unify identity signals and keep like a true household view on performance on the ads they've been serving?
Well, I think that's where I would say working with a partner like Audacy is really valuable. And the work through a lot of the work we've done with you guys, we're able to understand our audience across a whole host of platforms. And we know that there are so many ways that our audience engages with us today. They can listen to us on a smart speaker device in their home. They listen to us on their laptop while they're at work, just over streaming a station over the Wi-Fi, or listening to a podcast over Wi-Fi while they work. On a mobile device while they're on the go, either commuting or out for a run or whatever they might be doing. And the work we've done with you allows us to understand that and where we're reaching those listeners in all those different points of time and different locations and different platforms is really important.
Yeah, that's great. So like at what point or what business need like sparked the aha moment for you guys at Audacy? Like, okay, we got to go tap our friends at Experian and then like come full circle. When did you guys know that the data that you're getting from us helps solve that problem?
So we knew we needed a solution like this. We knew the problems we needed to solve were pretty clear. And it was just those things that we mentioned before. And I think, the aha moment working with you guys, you understood what we wanted. And when we were looking for a solution, the solution you pitched was what we wanted and what we needed. It was very streamlined. You guys were pretty easy to work with. And I think one of the things we always liked is it was like, this is what we asked for, and that's what you were like, oh, you need this, here's what we would do. And we're like, great, that's what we need. And it wasn't a whole lot of other stuff packaged in with that. And I think, we've expanded our relationship from that. We've layered on other solutions. But I think you guys always listened to what we were asking for and gave us the answers to what we were asking for. And we're very, very great to work with in that regard.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. So I think when our conversations first started, we were talking about our digital identity graph, and then quick follow on with syndicated audiences. And there's probably other conversations I'm not even aware of now. But tell us how, and tell the audience how you can plug both of these solutions kind of into your stack. And then, end goal, how does this shorten time to target for advertisers?
Yeah, so the way we wanted to work with you is, we wanted to be able to bring your graph into our environment, where we've, on our side, been doing a lot of work to just understand our audience across platforms and start to form first-party audiences and things like that. We own, for our streaming business and for some of our podcasting business, we own our ad server and platform. So we wanted to be able to take advantage of all the data we collect from that. And kind of extend out into the different ways that we monetize. And you guys were, again, just really easy to work with in that regard. We were able to just bring the data into our environment and set it up and integrate it really seamlessly into the ad server. So when we're running campaigns for advertisers, we're able to go in and plan and forecast really quickly against all the different audiences. If we want to do something custom with you guys, we can do that in a quick time, in a quick turnaround, and have it in the ad server very quickly. So that's all been great in that regard. I think those are kind of the key things that just help us move quickly for our clients.
Moving quickly is a good thing for everybody. That's good to hear.
Yep.
So when we think about, you got the integration live, I believe we did some type of evaluation at first, but like once you were fully up and running, which KPI shifted most from an Audacy perspective?
Well, I think one of the biggest things and one of the problems we were really looking to solve, again, we talk about the platforms or the cross-platform listing and things like that. I think one of the things that, for audio was a challenge for us is so much listening happens outside the home. And, when we look at our pool of impressions, there were so many impressions where we didn't have as robust of a data set when the listener was outside the home. Yeah. And so the ability, for an advertiser who wants to reach auto intenders at scale or homeowners at scale, or you name the audience, there were just portions of our impression pool where we didn't have the full scope of addressability against those impressions, particularly when they were outside the home. There were other places too where you guys have helped us, but that was definitely like a big subset of the inventory where we saw the benefit. And we just are able to deliver for an advertiser so much more scale against the audience they want to reach when they're on these different platforms and in these different locations, where in the past targeting had been more challenging.
That's great. And now that you know your audience better, and instead of placing these broad placements, how have you guys audited or changed your creative, or have you seen a change in your listener reaction since these ads have been more targeted?
Well, I think it just basically what it comes down to is performance. So many advertisers we work with. I mean, and that's not unique to us. That's an advertising trend, right? They're all looking to see how we drive business outcomes, and being able to, target and then report back performance for them when we're reaching their audience across all those different places is, that's key.
Have you heard any interesting feedback from advertisers or brands about wow, we're really surprised about this performance, data-driven audio. Wow, we are really impressed by this. I'd be curious to hear from customers or clients, how you guys are, taking in the feedback you're receiving since this integration.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint a single thing that we hear or comment like that. I mean, there's still some myth busting we do about the measurability of audio and just the different capabilities that you have in audio relative to other channels. But it varies from advertiser to advertiser. We have plenty of clients that know that and expect that, and continue to push us to raise the bar. I think one of the things that I came to audio from the TV and video space. I think one of the things that's sort of unique about audio, and is always interesting to me in the client engagements we have, is audio has a degree of flexibility that other channels don't have. We're not necessarily as rigidly tied to a programming clock, particularly with digital. Ad formats and ad lengths can be a little bit more variable than they can in other places. It's also really easy to create an audio ad relative to other channels. And not just any ad, you could create a really good audio ad in a short amount of time. So you can get creative up really fast. And all these things just make audio a channel that's really ripe for experimentation and innovation. That can be one of the things that makes my team's job really hard, because our salespeople get really creative and come to us with challenges where we have to solve them to try to meet a client's needs. But I think it's one of the things that makes it makes it fun, and I think it makes it an interesting place for a marketer to go because of those aspects where you can really try some new, different, innovative things on behalf of a brand.
Yeah, that's great. And, thinking about forward thinking and cross-channel opportunities, there's going to be areas, and there are areas, car dashboards, smart speakers, streaming apps. What's the new storytelling or potential attribution opportunities that are really coming to play now for advertisers with all of these cross-channel opportunities for reaching their target audience?
Yeah, I mean, the car is a really important place for us. I mean, I think that's one of the strongholds of broadcast radio. And broadcast radio in particular, I think measurement has been a challenge for us as an industry. But the good news there is that there are some new solutions coming to market where they're bringing new capabilities around the measurement of broadcast radio, the ability to report outcomes from campaigns run on broadcast radio. So that's been really exciting, and we look forward to that continuing to proliferate as more people offer it. But I hope that there's a day coming where we can understand ad exposure in the car as well, as more cars are connected and things like that. That would be really powerful.
So last thought to leave the listeners with, for those listening in that are still debating audio's seat at the table, if you will, what's the single proof point that addressable audio delivers incremental growth without adding any additional complexity? What's the way to get in here, and what's the proof point here?
Yeah, I mean, I still think, I truly believe that if you're not in audio, if you're not in digital audio, you're missing out. I mean, there's hard to reach audiences that you can find in podcast content and streaming audio content that you may not find on CTV, or you're in a crowded space where certain audiences are just hard to reach. I mean, I think about, again, being a little anecdotal, but I think about myself. My wife and I have 2 young kids, and there's not a lot of free time for me to watch TV. I watch some TV, and when I do, unless it's sports, it probably doesn't have ads because I'm probably streaming it on a streaming service ad-free. So if you want to reach me with ads, podcast is a great place to get me, because I do every morning I have or streaming audio or podcast in my commute, in my morning routine, sometimes in my evening routines. That's a good place to find me and find me with an ad. So I think you don't want to overlook a channel where there's really meaningful parts of your audience that are difficult to reach in other places. To me, it's an absolute must buy, and it works. That's the other thing is you have a really powerful connection between the audience and a brand and the content and a host potentially if you're taking advantage of host reads. And we've seen time and time again how well it performs for our clients. So
wonderful. Well, I'm so happy that we've been able to put this partnership in place, allow for cross-channel targeting, and make our audiences available on your platform, pushing custom audiences to you, all those things. If someone listening isn't an Audacy customer today, how do you recommend that they get in touch with you guys? What's the best way to become a customer?
Well, they can always come to me, and I can put them in touch with the right people here. So
perfect. Well, good to see you again. Thanks again, Kevin. Look forward to watching this partnership grow, and take care.
Yeah, thank you, Crystal. I appreciate it.